I'm no doubt gonna get a copyright strike for this video, but I don't care because I don't make money off YouTube. So, I want to talk, since I've said this many times in other videos, about empaths. Now, the thing is, most people, in fact, everyone, has got the ability empaths aren't just a cool thing in Charmed or a myth. Everybody actually has an empathic gift to some degree. It's just most people don't believe that the spiritual plane is real, so their empathic gifts don't evolve. Lots of people believe that psychic gifts evolve, the ability to predict the future, but most don't realize that those gifts are also linked to their empathic ones. That's why a lot of them don't come true, because they rely on physical things like tarot cards to predict them, whereas the oracles of ancient Greece, for example, children that's stolen from their parents, the reason they got every single vision they predicted right was because their empathic gifts were connected to their psychic ones. They could not only see the future, they could feel it. And because they could feel it, they could feel the situation that was causing it and the actions that were causing it, enabling them to know which outcome was going to happen and why it was going to happen, because they could feel it happening around them. Have you ever listened to music? How many times have you sat there and listening to your favourite tunes and associated the emotions with something in your life? That's your empathic gifts. Now, what stops them short of turning into proper empathic gifts? What stops them from evolving into something that's classified as, well, empathic, is your ability to be able to link it to a bigger picture. I'm listening to copyright strike Game of Thrones here. One of YouTube's favourite things to tell me off about. Many people will sit there listening and associate this with some kind of despair in their life, loss of hope, desperation. But many will fall short of being able to link it to a world war like it's associated within Game of Thrones. They'll associate it with their own personal pain, but fail short of unlocking their empathic gifts by linking it to the big picture and its place in it. Is this how you would feel if a war broke out? A war broke out right now and you watched everything you loved dying around you, not being able to protect it, not being able to do jack shit about it, being forced to choose on whether you want to, sacrifice the things around you to save yourself or die with everything you love. You're willing to, turn into a fucking monster to fucking defend against the monster? Or fight to the death? And the reason why people fall short of unlocking these gifts of theirs is because they're frightened of them. Because look what happened to the old world that used to use these gifts with such fucking masteries. Look what happened to them all. How could we fucking guarantee that we'd be safe? You can't. But what you can do, knowing this is how it fucking works, is use them fucking properly. Use them fucking properly. Stop listening to the fucking terrorists' fucking books and start connecting to your fucking heart and it'll tell you the fucking truth. Books are written by pussies that like to play God. That's why their shit relies on physical manifestations like tarot cards. Whereas the ancient oracles of Greece didn't need them. It came natural to them as breathing because their heart was in sync with their head and they weren't frightened of the visions or the emotions associated with those visions. Partly down to the fact that they'd already fucking endured fucking so much bullshit, fucking having been stolen from their parents, but... So any fucking despair fucking seeing the people that fucking kidnapped them fucking going fucking through really didn't bother them. It's like... Once you start linking your emotions to that big picture, to that world emotion, you can start accepting it and you eventually stop focusing on your own pain and you just sit there and listen to the world play its song. You don't end up dancing with it, you just listen. You ever played Lost Odyssey? When Kime tells the woman in one of the 1,000-year stories, she goes to the fucking island where her people had fucking committed genocide on this entire society that lived on this island. And anybody from her country who'd ever gone there, ever since this atrocity had happened, would eventually go insane because of the music that was on the island. Kind of like fucking Zanarkand when Vaval and Zanarkand were at war and Zanarkand was destroyed, where the people of Zanarkand were singing, made the fucking Baval soldiers freak out and they ran just before Sin was created. The same thing happened on this fucking island. They sang to the very end as they all got murdered. And everyone who goes there, you're singing the last thing anyone heard from them before they all died. And most go insane. Kime fucking looks at this researcher that was going there to try and right the fucking wrongs by giving the world the truth of what her country actually did to them. And Kime looks at her before she goes and turns around and says, if you hear singing, don't fight it. Just sing along. That's all an empath does. Don't fight it. Just sing along. You're not taking part. You're just listening. Accepting it. Ah, ah, ah. There's different degrees of empathy. Not everyone with these gifts became oracles. Some became mighty warriors, some became, well, everything that the fucking people refer to as pagan gods. Yet empathic gifts evolve into many different things. Ability to be able to predict the future, world future, personal future, an intensive instinct that can just predict dangerous situations. An ability to be able to read your opponent, read and connect with your loved ones to a degree where you can almost read each other's minds. And one of the biggest mistakes this world is making right now is not listening to its heart. People think it's so fucking cool to, oh, I'm gonna be a fucking soldier, and then I'm gonna go get trained up, realize, oh shit, and then, get myself killed because I wasn't really fucking expecting it to be like that. And the fucking other fucking worst part of fucking about that side of it is that they think throwing their lives away is brave. And it's not. Because everybody's fucking doing it. If you truly fucking want to tell terrorism to fuck off, stop accepting what it deems right and wrong. It's not noble to throw your life away just because it's expected of you. course a terrorist wants you to throw your fucking life away. It doesn't want fucking its enemies to win its war. This world is going to war whether people like it or not, because people don't know. They're not used to fucking their gifts anymore. They don't even believe they're real. They can't make the connection between reality, modern day reality, and ancient history. They can't put their hearts into history because they don't, and they're not taught how to. They're taught it from the perspective of their head, not from the perspective of their heart, and so their empathic gifts aren't evolving. As a result, they're failing to see what's actually triggering these. It's all happened before and it'll all happen again. Because you're not listening. This is what you listen with. You hear with these, you listen with this. The only times these start to listen is when your heart is the one that's really listening. Then this turns this off. And all you do is just listen. This is the world right now. This is called, for those of you who have never heard this before, this is called Requiem of a Dream. I'd recommend to everybody who wants to connect with their empathic gifts to listen to it, because this is the future of our world. This is World War III. This is what the world is going to be feeling when it breaks out. Desperate, frightened, angry. Snap in the middle of it all. The choice to fight. Sheer rage. How could you do this? Oh. Where do you think world psychology came from? What makes it so accurate when you've got a real expert on it? Where do you think it came from? It didn't come from a book. It came from an empath. Well, the part I still struggle with, because I'm learned that most people tend to freak out when I use my empathic gifts. So I have to wean them into it. So opening up to this fucking degree is not easy for everyone. So I'm struggling. I can open up just fine when I'm listening to the music on my headphones like this. But when I open them like this, it means I'm opening up to you, so I tend to put slight barriers around myself, which I have to also bring down. Because it's what the scientific community calls a highly sensitive person. Another word for empath. Highly sensitive people tend to have extremely, accurate intuition. Yes, that's called psychic empath. World War III. Now the doubters will go on a mission saying, "Oh, but you're just you putting your fucking emotion into the fucking war." Yes. That's my part in the big picture. And as a result, you can feel the wrath around you and understand what every little thing that's making people fight, and you can see it in your fucking head. You're sitting there listening to it, the rage, the desperation, the heartbreak, and you can feel and see people's loved ones dying, making them fly into a rage, attacking the people that fucking actually killed their loved ones. People fucking desperate, fuckingly trying to cling to the things they fucking love. Power, security, safety, running for their fucking lives, picking up a fucking gun, hoping that they'll be able to survive. And it starts to go through your head, every little possible scenario of the future. That desperate war. And it all started with your own pain attached to it. Fuck the nose. You may like to celebrate your fucking selves as the heroes of history, but you're not. Whether you like it or not, you never have been. Du vergib, nur sinnlos vorhin, war dein Voku, Marihara Kastval. Garaban, Potrosin Gozam, Dovakin, Farin, Korega Mundrau. Husra nu kuldo od han bok lingra vod harifin te basic fundo fin gain. lost från vanedov fin relikt och juvus ansulik waro nit felkrain. I got a chest infection at the moment. So my Dofi. Vind verlock, wat vind woel, dovanok. Vind toch skwa, rest, across. Pas I kaf can no stint, no fine, I'll do enjoy. Dovakin, no laxin lus varhin, wat ein voku, marihara kastval. Pan vatrosin gosan, Dovakin, farhin, koragahan, mungdraw. Fuck the Norse! You are not nature's children. If you need runes, you are not a psychic. And you are certainly not an empath. And if you're not an empath, you're not a child of balance. Oh, doctors put me on steroids. Well, I'm begrudgingly fucking using them at the moment. Don't like it, but nature unfortunately isn't willing to give me an alternative right now. And I'm not quite ready to go home yet. Not yet. So sad. Emily. There can be only one God, says Highlander. In reality, there can be only one God. Why would something that's already achieved ultimate knowledge need a high king? Since there's multiple gods in ancient history, why would they all be at war? They all know exactly the same thing. They all know that the actions each one of them takes is in the best interests of life and the things they love about it. It's how balance is created. Because people have lost sight of these truths. They think that all the simple, they forgot to think how to think simply about history. They look at it as a complicated, there's got to be a deeper meaning perspective, and they overthink every fucking thing. But if there's a deeper meaning to anything, you got to feel it, not think it. Your head is prone to panic, and that tends to cloud your perspective. Your heart, on the other hand, doesn't panic. It gets overwhelmed with emotion. I don't fucking say that it doesn't, but it doesn't panic. This is what panics. If your fucking heart's feeling something too deep, this starts putting fucking barriers around you. Shit! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Last time you felt this fucking way, oh my god! The gods are at war, they are. Why? Oh, we're descended from the fallen. Why? Because you disconnected from the balance and the big picture, and your gifts stopped evolving. Because the fallen, aka terrorism, started believing after the death of the Neanderthals and their contribution to genocide, they started believing that they were the superior race, the best of humanity, destined to have the world all to themselves and entitled to do it whenever the fuck they wanted. Whereas their ancestors didn't intend to commit genocide. They were newly evolved from animals. It just happened. They were following instinct, trying to survive, and because the Neanderthals lived in small communities, whereas Homo erectus, rapidly bred. Homo erectus nature contributed to the Neanderthals going extinct through deforestation of their environment, just like what has been affecting animals. Rape, pillage, burn. And this all these little things come together triggered every single terrorist fucking clash that has happened ever since. We're the best of humanity. We're entitled to the world all to ourselves. No, you're fucking not. Repent your sins. History's battle cries. Well, since the beginning of time, humanity has asked these questions. Why are we here? And all you gotta do to answer that is put yourself right back there in the moment we evolved from animals. Being the very first fucking people to be born from animals. Different from everything else. And suddenly you awaken asking this question. Why am I different? Why am I thinking like this? Why can't I sense nature anymore? What the fuck's going on? Why can't I like them anymore? Oh my god. Why am I here? And then you suddenly get a choice that no other animal has ever had to make a choice of because, well, you're not like them anymore. Not in exactly the same way. Now you've got a choice to choose to respect balance, whereas to them, they don't need the choice because it comes natural to them. From that moment was born, well, what Christians say. God gave us the chance to choose to love him, or rather, the spirits gave us a chance to choose to respect life. To allow us to make mistakes so that we can learn from them. Put our own beliefs into perspective. Evolve into the respectful entities that the Neanderthals achieved so quickly, technologically advanced, and 100% in sync with nature. And what brought them down, aside from the same things that are threatening nature to this day? Deforestation, capitalism. What brought them down? Rape, pillage, burn, jealousy, anger, resentment due to making the wrong choice. Because even though it was just children lashing fucking out of jealousy and anger, it was still the wrong choice. The reason why nature doesn't use these methods in maintaining life is because they don't have enough positive consequences. Every method nature uses has a balanced amount of positive and negative to ensure life's survival. Now, And so he spoke, and so he spoke, the Lord of Castamere. But now the rains we bore is whole, with not a soul to hear, to hear. It's fucking bullshit. Bollocks. It's all fucking bollocks. For those of you that are already aware of your empathic gifts, you no doubt feel like you don't fit in, that you're too deep for most people to fucking actually be able to grasp the true depth of your words. They call you, like people like to call you, overly sensitive. You know, you're not too sensitive, you're too emotional. We don't know how to talk to you because, you know, you're so sensitive. And you're failing to get through to them that despite how sensitive you are, that if you weren't able to cope with it, you'd already have killed yourself. And it's more frustrating being fucking treated fucking like they're walking on eggshells around you than accepting that if you couldn't cope with it, you wouldn't be an empath. These gifts only evolve in people that can cope with them. So you don't have to worry about the fearful's perspective of, oh, you're destined to turn into a mass murderer, or you're destined to fucking turn into, you know, someone that's gonna fucking go and kill them fucking selves. You're an empath. You can cope with it. You've got such a fucking deep grasp of reality that your morals always stop you from doing both. Because you can feel the big picture. Now they'll fucking make fucking your opposites call you weak and every fucking little insult that they can fucking hurl at fucking you, but it always makes you stay your fucking blade and only punch them as many fucking times as it takes to stop them from harming you. A clairvoyant empath is always a defensive empath. Aggressive empaths don't tend to unlock the ability to predict the future. Just an instinct, a deep instinct for survival. saying these aggressive empaths unlock this deep instinct to survival to the point where a lot of them throughout history have been fucking called gods of war, like Guan Yu. Unbeatable in battle because his aggressive empathic gifts were so in tune with everything going on around him that his survival instincts were top notch. If you are a defensive empath, you don't belong in a war. Your role comes afterwards. After it starts. You don't fight it, you just defend and heal. Clairvoyant empaths will be able to predict the future, but like the oracles of old, they sat on the sidelines. Because, well, it's dangerous to get too involved when your gifts evolve that much. And you will be asked to use those gifts on demand, and it doesn't work like that. These gifts only trigger when they're needed most. Unlike the past, when humanity was still learning about them. And now we've learned the danger of relying on them too much, how much jealousy it can spread, how much dependency, how much fear and resentment. They now, having learnt that, our hearts are wiser, and we know. That's why they only trigger when it's necessary. Now that people have learned that those ways are not the right way. Stealing kids from their fucking parents is bullshit. That behaviour caused a fucking world to indulge in some seriously fucked up shit. Triggering a fucking rebellion that ultimately saw it destroyed. And then they replaced their shit with something fucking else and tried to murder all the fucking gifted fucking people. And then that world fucking fell. And a new perspective added. As history has progressed, our gifts have slowly been balancing out, but most have lost their connection to history. So they've lost their they've lost their key to evolving. Fuck you, terrorism. I'm tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling something lost under the surface. but under the pressure of walking in your shoes, every step that I take is another mistake to you. I've become so numb, I can feel you there. I've become so tired, so much more aware. Coming there, it's all I want to do. It's be more like me and be less like you. Just smile. Holding too tightly, afraid to lose control. 'Cause everything that you thought I would be has fallen apart right in front of you. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. And every second I waste is more than I can take. I can feel. Spiritual Plane's just got some awesome timing, I swear. Once you start actually connecting to your empathic gifts, you'll find it picking songs on YouTube for you with autoplay. It's brilliant. You were just like me, but someone disappointed you. I can feel you there, so much more aware. Just be more like me and be less like you. So numb. I'm tired of being what you want me to be. I'm tired of being what you want me to be. This song is so fucking perfect. Spiritual Plane is going on right now. Just to add a lovely fuck you terrorism. Now we've got fucking part 2. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every legend of history was made by someone whose heart was in every moment of it. That's why Queen is a legend. Well, the sun ends in the sky and the desert has sound. While the waves crash in the sea, you meet the land. Till mountains crumble to the plain. Yes, we'll keep on trying. Just passing our time. No. While we live according to race, color, or creed. While we're ruled by blind madness and pure greed. Our lives dictated by tradition, superstition, false religion. tread the fine. Anything you learn from a book is wrong. Because the people that learnt these things didn't write them. The people that fucking wrote them just learnt from people that learnt from experience. And put them down in a book. Some fearful because of, well, the events of history. Others so that they could declare themselves gods among men. Either way, fear clouds your judgment just as much as arrogance. So anything you learn from a book is flawed and wrong and missing an aspect of the big picture. So don't trust it. You can be anything you want to be. Just turn yourself into anything you think that you could ever be. Be free, be free. Surrender your ego. Be free, be free. If there's a God, I need kind of justice under the sky. If there's a point, if there's a reason to live or die. If there's an answer to the questions we feel bound to ask. Show yourself, destroy our fears, please your mass. But the sad part is, the answers are already there. You've just lost the ability to put them together. Because these aren't in sync anymore. And whatever will be, will be. Till the end of time. Don't bank on Christianity telling the truth about how many people will actually survive the war. Why? Because it doesn't work like that. To predict accurate futures to the degree an oracle fucking does requires you to put your heart into every prediction, and to channel something on that fucking degree is overwhelming. So don't bank on those numbers being accurate, because, yeah, no empath could predict that. Anybody that's got the capacity to connect to a future like that will not be able to connect to it long enough to fucking actually count how many people are gonna fucking survive it. And no empath would ever be cruel enough to fucking say you're not good enough. Balance is harmony. Tradition is just something a terrorist put in a book because they saw it work for someone else. For those people that genuinely do put their heart into lighting a candle for their loved ones, always feel them when they do it. But it's only in a book because someone saw it work for someone like you. It's not in there because it's the way it works, because it's not the way it works. It works for you because you mean it. For some people, painting a picture of their loved ones and hanging it on the wall works, and they can feel their loved ones in the room every time they look at the picture. I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me. I'm perfectly fine. I can cope with it. And I've got no intention of going anywhere until I've achieved my goal. And that's getting through to you, so I'm not going anywhere yet. You ever noticed how relaxed listening to music makes you? Science would call it meditation, and you'd be expected to read all these books about it, only to realise it came natural to you. It's because you're an empath. So many fucking times I've read books about different religions, Wicca, Christianity, Jewish, even some about fucking Muslims, and I gave up reading them in the end, less and less every single fucking time I picked up one of them, because it started off exactly the fucking same as every other one, and it's like, the only things that are different are the traditions. It's like, whatever. You'd all just, well, preaching shit that you don't understand. And the ones that do understand it never needed the book to begin with because it came natural to them. So they never needed to repent or be saved because they were already natural. And certainly don't need to be put on a leash. That's all it is. Book of traditions. It's a fucking leash to keep terrorism under control. Written by frightened people who were tired of watching their world be destroyed by stupid decisions and entitlement complexes. Fearful of what it would do to their world. They copied and pasted all these traditions that worked for people that inspired them, people that frightened them. There's examples of what to do and what not to do, and threats to punish them if they tried to behave this way. Wicked, the meds are kicking him, started to cough it up again. I'm only actually using this because you're worried, by the way. Because if you could understand the true 100% nature of an empath and how deeply connected it is to the spiritual plane, you'd know that because of our close connection to all positive and negative emotions, that we've got a lot more control over our fears, our anger, and all our positive and negative emotions. We're capable of, well, everything that meditation would do, and we do it on instinct because of how deeply connected we are to the world. And this has a lot of different consequences. It's like, for example, for me, once upon a time in my life, I got spiked. No, yeah, my heart was fucking racing. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You know, but I didn't panic. Like all these reactions that, you know, people say they had when they got spiked. I was scared, but I managed to slow my heart rate, meditate it, and I didn't even know anything about fucking meditation. It just came natural. I just sat there, deep breaths, and calmed my heart rate. And I could do it fucking with this as well. Start coughing to the fucking point where I struggle to fucking breathe, and I can calm myself fucking down to the degree where I open my lungs fucking back up without the inhaler. But because you don't know about that is why I tend to use it on camera, even though I don't really use it at all. But as you slowly come to accept your gifts, you'll start noticing these things for yourself. How you can... You'll start noticing how this music calms you down. For some people, they'll think of the fucking music and that'll be what slows their heart rate and calms them down and puts them into a state of fucking meditation on instinct. For the people that notice this, they focus on the feeling, and that feeling starts to evolve. They no longer need the music, and it just comes natural, and then they can just do it whenever they're frightened, whenever they're panicking. And they could just... It comes natural.
Do you like strategy? That mixes MMO, strategy, and RPG. The idea is very easy. At the start of every season, you will appear on the map. You will be given one city to start, and you will need to conquer the cities that are next to you. In the beginning, there are neutral cities.
No. Part of the thing that caused the rift was those moments. Why them, not me? Because they'd already achieved that sink that you weren't ready to live, and the world's not ready to live, and they were your inspiration to achieve it yourself. That's why a lot of them got put in books over the course of history, so that people could cling, waiting for the day then we all achieve resinking our gifts. So for me, have you ever noticed, and anyone who's already aware they're an empath will know exactly what I'm talking about here. Have you ever noticed that the things you love tend to have a eerily significant resemblance to your life? Like for me, Final Fantasy X, one of my most beloved Final Fantasies, is ironically very similar to my life. Me being Yuna, one man fucking army, not even fucking her guardians agree with, but they know they can't stop her. deprived of being with the one that she loves because of her life's mission. Or people will say, oh, it's just coincidence. Any empath will know what I'm talking about. Have you ever connected to something that would have a future implication on your life? Because that's exactly what happened with me in Final Fantasy X. The moment I played that game, I broke my fucking heart because I just knew that I wasn't going to get together with the love of my life. That she was going to die and I was going to live. Stubborn fucking Yuna continues her fucking mission to get through to the world. Tidus waits on the far plane.
In the vast expanse of the universe, where honor and battle reign supreme, rises a leader whose cunning is as formidable as his courage. Prepare to command the star.
But like Yuna, as heartbroken as I fucking am, I'm not leaving yet. I can't. Because as much as I love Jade, oh, I love this world just as much. And while it still needs help, I'm not going anywhere. And she knows full fucking well that she can, well, drive me mental. Drive me fucking mental, kick me up my fucking ass just fine, so it's all good. She knows how to push my buttons, and with all access to ultimate knowledge, she's less prone to getting reckless, so it's like fuck you. Just because the Norse like to take credit for the drums doesn't fucking mean you were the first civilization to ever use them as a war cry. Everything started further back in history than 800 AD. And there's only one true religion, and it's the one where they all began. Ancestor worship. The one that everybody's tried to corrupt since the beginning of time, but they've never truly managed to succeed. No matter how fucking close an arrogant person comes to declaring their line superior to all others, another one always springs up to tell them to go fuck themselves. And as an empath, you can channel, once you accepted your gifts, you can channel every single situation this world throws at you. There's nothing a terrorist fears more than controlled fear and controlled anger. Something they can't truly achieve because they rely on it to, well, control everything else. Don't fear. Don't get angry about it just because your position in life says that you must. That's the terrorists talking to you, not your heart. Listen to your heart. Once you start listening to that, you'll be able to tell with 100% certainty who you truly are and who the people are around you. And once you can learn to control yourself, you'll start to see the truth all around you. And your heart will start channeling everything a lot differently. And you'll stop relying on those books that tell you how you have to deal with things. And your heart will tell you what's right and what's wrong. The books will tell you lots of different lies. Many of which I've ranted about on many of my other videos. High IQ,